Hello and welcome to Nurture Academy. Today we are going to learn about gravitation. As you can see that when Isaac Newton was sitting below one tree, he saw one apple which was falling, and he was wondering why the apple is getting attracted towards the earth and not flying in the air. So from here Isaac Newton got the idea of something which is known as gravitation pull. Going further, he gave the same concept in the form of force of gravitation. So he used something which we know nowadays as law of gravity. Law of gravity says that force of gravity between two bodies will always be directly proportional to product of the masses. First thing you guys always have to remember is that force is always between two masses and gravitation force is due to mass. If anything will not have mass, then it cannot exert force. And if we have so many bodies lying near to each other, at a time we can consider force between two bodies that we will see in the upcoming slides. First, we have to see that, let's say in this example, we have taken sun and earth. Mass of sun we are writing as capital M because sun has more mass than earth, and mass of earth we are writing as small m. So gravitation force is directly proportional to product of the masses. When I say directly proportional means if you increase the mass, any one of the mass, the force will increase, and the force is inversely proportional to square of distance between sun and earth in this case. So r is the distance. Inversely proportional means if you keep on increasing the distance between two bodies, the force will keep on decreasing. In this particular expression you can see capital G. Capital G is known as universal gravitation constant. What do you mean by universal gravitation constant? Means its value never changes whether you are measuring on earth or you are measuring in space, you are measuring on moon, Mars, anywhere you are measuring, the value of capital G will always remain same. Let's move further and look further into force of gravity. So we will understand this by taking the example of earth and human being. So earth pulls us with the force, let's say Fe, and human pull earth with the force, let's say Fh. Actually speaking, the extent of force is same with the force by which earth pull us and the force by which we pull the earth. Now here the interesting fact is that when earth pull us, because our mass is very less, so actually we will start to move towards the earth. But many people think that earth will not move towards us. So let's see whether earth move towards us or only we move towards the earth. So in first case what we have done is we wrote the force produced by earth is G capital M small m divided by r square, that we know from universal gravitation force. And we also know from previous chapter knowledge that force is equal to mass multiplied by acceleration. But in this case, I am writing mass as small m, means I am telling the mass of a human being, not mass of earth. So in this case, we are actually figuring out how much acceleration will be produced in human beings when earth pull us. Like when a small body is pulled towards a big body, then the small body moves by how much acceleration. So in this case we will put the value of universal gravitation constant, we will put the value of mass of earth, we will put the value of radius of earth, and we will get something which is known as acceleration due to gravity, and its value is 9.8 meter per second square. This is a kind of acceleration. Okay. Now here one thing more we have to remember is that capital G is universal constant. but small g is variable. As you can see, small g or acceleration depends upon the value of mass of the body who is pulling us, and it also depends upon the distance between the two bodies. So if you go to moon, the same value of acceleration produced in any body is 1 by 6 times that of the earth. Now, to start with this talk, I told you that we will discuss how much acceleration is produced in earth due to our pull. So let's see that aspect also. Here we can see that, you know, in this case, I put now earth is getting pulled towards human being. So, if you put, let's say, mass of human being will be how much? 100 kg maximum. So when we put the value, we will see that earth is also accelerated towards us, but then the acceleration produced in earth due to our pull is only 10 raised to the power minus 22 meter per second square, which is approximately, we can just ignore it as compared to the acceleration produced in us due to earth. See, we can see the comparison with the previous question. Here we were pulled with the acceleration of 9.8 meter per second square, which is still considerable amount. But Earth is, kind of, it's stationary because our mass is very, very less to pull the Earth towards us. So next concept, which is very important to understand for solving numerical problems, is the concept of scalar quantities and vector quantities. Since we keep on talking about gravitation force in this particular chapter, and gravitation force is a vector quantity. So we have to learn what are scalars and what are vectors. So scalar are something which have both, which has only magnitude. Vectors are those which have both magnitude as well as direction. For example, you can see here in the green line that one guy start walking, and he move along the green line and then he reaches to the end point. Now, if somebody has to tell the scalar, means the distance traveled by this person, that is shown by the blue line. But if we should actually see only the vector, like how much displacement he has undergone from the start point to the end point, so that is actually very less. That means that vector quantities, they, for them, the direction is equally important as, their magnitude. Let's understand this little bit more in the case of gravitation forces. Everybody must have played tug of war when we were kids, right? So in the first case, you can see three kids on one side and three kids on another side. So one side force and another side force, they are equal and opposite, so nothing will move towards each other. In the second example, there are two kids on one side and three kids on the another side. So by looking at it, we can tell that this whole system will move towards the right hand side where we have more number of kids because their force will be more. In the third case, well, we have to figure out whether four kids can apply more force or two adults can apply more force. So depending upon whether they apply more force or less force, the net movement will be on that particular side. Same way is the gravitation force. So you have to imagine that there is one imaginary third mass which is in the middle of this tug of war. So that thing will be pulled towards wherever side the force is more. Okay, so force is a vector quantity. This was to give that clarity for solving the questions. Next concept, which is very, very important, particularly in this particular chapter, is that when you guys go to solve numerical problems, first thing everybody should write is equations of motion. Three equations of motion. Always go and write it on the left side, which are v equal to u plus at, v square minus u square equal to 2as, and s is equal to ut plus half at square. Then two things to remember. A is equal to g, small g, means acceleration due to gravity, because that is also kind of acceleration, right? Second thing to remember is that if a body moves upwards, then the value of A will be written as minus g, because you are going opposite to the gravity. And when you are falling down, that time the value of g will be taken as positive. One more add-on that is very important for solving numericals is that, as you can see in this photograph, either you will throw one body down, like in first case, but if anybody is thrown down from up, its initial velocity will be taken as 0. And we can also say this is a classic case of free fall. Okay. But in the second case, when you throw anybody from down to up, that time its final velocity will become 0 when it reaches to a considerable height, and then it falls under gravity. Remember, when you throw something down, u will be 0. When you throw something upwards, then v will be 0. Let's see two numerical problems based on this particular concept. So, like in this case, a stone is thrown vertically upwards. Remember, when we throw something upwards, then it reaches to a maximum height and its final velocity become equal to 0. So in this case, v is equal to 0. Okay, time is given 3 seconds, and acceleration means acceleration due to gravity is given 9.8 meter per second square. You have to calculate what is the initial velocity of the stone. Remember two things which I told in the previous case, that if you are throwing something upwards, v is equal to 0 and acceleration due to gravity is taken as negative. Then equation of motion we know, v equal to u plus at. V is 0 in this case. Just fill the given data and you can comfortably calculate the initial velocity. One more we will see similar to this one. In this particular question, a stone is falling from up to down. Okay, so when something falls from up to down, that time initial velocity is equal to 0. Again, time is given to us, acceleration due to gravity is given, and we know that since the body is coming downward direction, so the value will be positive for acceleration due to gravity. In this case, we will use the equation S is equal to ut plus half at square. We'll fill all the given values and we will reach to the final answer. It's very easy. We just have to remember, if you throw something up or you throw something down, what will be the value of u or v? And then, this one is very easy question. This is based upon law of gravitation. That is, we are given two bodies. Their mass is given. One body is, 150 kg. Another body is Earth. As I told you, force is always between two bodies at a time. Okay. So you fill the value in the formula. F is equal to capital G, gravitation constant. Capital M is mass of Earth. Small m is mass of the body, and r is the distance between body and Earth. And I hope now this video has given you clarity of mind regarding this chapter, gravitation. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and share our channel. Thank you.